Welcome to our tutorial.
Last time we left off having done this. We had created our first web page and we had done that using Notepad. So today I'm going to first of all introduce a new text editor, and then we'll also be adding some styling to our document. So let's go right ahead. The first thing, if you were to come to Google and just search for text editor, just that, you'll get a list of so many text editors. We have Atom, Sublime Text, Vim, Notepad Plus. Yeah, so there are numerous. There are several text editors. All of them have their advantages and disadvantages. So it's up to you to pick whichever. You can try any of them. All of them do basically the same function, but it's up to you to pick the one that works best for you. I personally use Sublime Text. So if you want to get it, you just go to sublimetext.com, and there you will find the download links depending on your operating system. Now for me, I have already installed Sublime Text on my computer. I don't have to install it again, but the installation is so simple. Sorry, just found myself downloading. Yeah, so it's straightforward. You can download one and install on your computer. So I'll just open mine and then we can get going. Yeah, so the next thing is I will want to again, because we are going to in a while we are going to add more files to our project. I would want us to create a folder and call it my web page, and use this folder to manage the files of our project. So I'll just take my web page and add it here so that we start with that one. And so to open it in Sublime Text, I'll just come to File, Open Folder, and then I'll go to that folder. It's already highlighted, my web page, and then select folder. And one thing that I like about Sublime Text is the way it gives me a list of the folders on the left and the files within them, so it's easy for me to access it. For example, if I want to access the file that we just created, I just click there and you can see it's opened, and you can already see the difference between this and Notepad. Here you can notice that the tags have a different color from the content. So again, it's a lot easier to work with. You can easily come in and get to understand that this is the content and this is the tag at a glance. Yeah, and then the other thing I like about Sublime Text is, like, for me to create a tag, for instance, if I want to add another paragraph, I don't have to start by typing P and closing again. Actually, when I just do P and then I type that and then I open that and do that, it does it for me automatically. The other way of doing it, I could just type P and then press the tabs key, and you can see it automatically creates for me the tag. So as I said, this varies depending on the text editor that you choose. Each one of them has its own advantages and disadvantages. Now today, for the styling purpose, I want to add a little bit more content to our file or our web page, and at the same time I also want to introduce a few concepts. The first thing, maybe let's work on adding some paragraphs. I would want to add here 2 more paragraphs. So I'll try to get some dummy text to use there. The best I can get is here. So I just come to lorem ipsum generator, and then I can pick the first two paragraphs. So I can have this as my first paragraph and just paste it there, and then I have another paragraph, and get the next paragraph, this one, and paste it here. And then I will also want to add an image, so I'll come here and add an image. So I can just look for images of cars, can be specific, let's say I want a BMW X6, seems to understand that's what I want. So I come to images, and then I want a black one, and then I can come to the tools here, and then I say I want a large one for the sake of resolution. I want a large car. And then I would also want to, for the sake of copyright issues, I want to get one that are labeled for reuse, and so I will pick one. It looks, let me pick another one, doesn't look good to me. Let me pick this one. It looks quite much better, so I'll save this as now I'll go to, you can see my folder is already open, the same folder where we have our file. So I just write there BMW X6, then I save it. So I'll close that. Come to our folder, we have two files there, we have BMW X6 and the web page. So from our Sublime texts, you can see that we have BMW X6 and my web page in that folder. So we'll also do what we did previously, just resize our text editor and our web page. So far we've not yet added the image of the car, but if we reload, your file was not, it's not happening. Oh, sorry, we changed the location from the desktop to the folder, so that's why it's not opening. So we just have to open it afresh. Yeah, and there we go. So this one is no longer valid. Yeah, so the thing remaining here is the car image, so we'll just add that, and that. Now we'll use in addition there are also some special HTML tags or elements that are self-closing. By self-closing, I mean you don't have to have separate opening and closing tags, and one example of those is the image, because they have no content in between, they only have attributes. I'm going to show you what an attribute is. So for example, when it comes to image, we just do that, we add that to show that it is self-closing, because there is nothing that we are going to put in between, like so. An attribute is more like a property of that tag. For instance, in this case we have an image, and we are specifying the source, and in this case our source is supposed to be the path to that image. And in our case, since our document and the image are in the same folder, we just come here and write the name of the image. For example, here we have BMW, this one here, BMW. We write it exactly the way it appears there, x6, and don't forget to include the extension, because here it's a JPG file. So if we reload, you can see our image has come, but it is very big. Remember, we chose a large image, so if we want to see it, we have to scroll all the way to this side and back for us to be able to see it. And now that is one reason why we need to have styling for our document. So to style our document, we need what we call CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. To begin with, we have what we call Inline CSS. Inline CSS is whereby we use our styles within the HTML elements. For example, in our heading is this. We want to add some style associated with it. We'll just come within the opening tag. Now we add an attribute. The attribute here will be style is equals, and then we put that, and then now within the quotation marks is where now we put our styles. For example, we want the color to be red, for example. So if we do that and we reload, you can see don't know why it's asking me to translate, because of the text. As you can see, it has changed to red. Now we can have more than one style associated with it, so to separate them we add a semicolon, and then we add another style. For example, let's change the color to white. Of course, the background, since the background is white, we may not be able to see it, and for that reason we'll also have to change our background. So let's say background for this particular element, we want it to be blue. So if we do that and we reload, you can see it's there. And then we also want this to be at the center, so we just add text align center. If we reload, you can see it has gone to the center. And then we would want to increase the height of this element so that it's a bit bigger. So we can say height, increase it to say 80 pixels. And if we do that, well, I don't want this translate thing to keep popping up. I think I'll handle it in the next refresh. Never translate. Let me do that. Yeah, so at least it won't keep popping up. Yeah, then so that is it for that. And then the other thing that I want us to style is now the image. I want our image to fit in our screen, at least to fit in this up to maybe somewhere here. So the way we'll do that would be to come to the image. We also add a style to it. Style is equals to, so we say width. We want our width to be, let's give it around 350 pixels. And then our height, since we want our width and height to be be proportional to the original image, or rather we want to maintain the aspect ratio, we'll put our height to auto, so that the height will be varying with the same percentage as the width. So if we reload, you can see that our image has been resized. So if we were, say, to give our height a specific height, for example for 50 pixels, you can see that it has resized, but the image is distorted because of the aspect ratio. So in most cases, if you want to maintain the aspect ratio, you will just edit one side. For example, you can edit the height and leave the width to be auto, like that. If we do that, you can see the height is resized, but the width is also resized proportionally. But now I think I would want us, let's have the width being 450 and the height being auto. So when we do that and we reload our page, you can see that now it is it's looking much better. So that was inline CSS. Now we are going to do more in the next tutorial. We are going to look at external CSS, and then we'll do additional stuff with that.